Welcome to the LDS Man's Heart by Forged and Anchored. My name is Cortland Watson. I am one of the hosts and one of the contributors to the LDS Man's Heart. We welcome you and hope that as you participate and engage and comment and like, subscribe, all of that, that you'll be able to understand that the intent of this podcast is to be able to connect. We want men to have a space where they can have or engage in genuine conversations. It's not just about kind of the podcast or getting listened to, but having conversations that sometimes we don't get to have. We do tailor our message to LDS men. That's because all three of us are LDS. We use references to LDS scripture, but we want everyone to participate. We want all denominations, or if you're not even someone that's practicing faith, we hope that you'll come and join us and engage, comment. The last thing that we have to say just before we get started, this is the LDS Man's Heart, a podcast. Three men that are LDS with totally different backgrounds and stories coming together to be able to talk about things that are important. We don't speak for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We are not sponsored by them. We're just three LDS men coming together, having genuine conversations, telling our stories, and talking about the things that matter. We want you to understand that if you are numb, excited about life, whatever it may be, wherever you are, that you can come and engage in this genuine conversation with us. So without further ado, welcome to the LDS Man's Heart by Forged and Anchored.
Do this.
Hey everybody, thank you so much we're back here. We are with the LDS Man's Heart. This is Forged and Anchored. We got Javon, Alan, no deuces from Alan.
Yeah. He just get in.
And then I am Cortland. So one of the things that we talked about in our opening, kind of our inaugural, we called it, episode, was that we want this to be real.
Yeah.
So we want people to understand that we're not just like these random people. Well, we are kind of random people.
I was like, where's he going with that? We're not random people, huh?
But we're just people, just like everyone else. We're not like special. We're not famous. We're not getting paid to do this.
Not yet, anyway.
I'm special.
Yeah, I'm special. I'm claiming that. Yeah.
But we want to be able to talk about our stories, a little bit about us, so that way we can connect with everyone watching, with everyone listening. But at the same time, to be able to voice a little bit of that, because when we talk about growing and going through everything, like we've been through that.
Yeah.
It's not just like.
And what's great about this is, as us sharing our stories, it's not unique. Meaning our stories are unique to us, but having a story, going through hard things, finding who you are, finding your identity, that's not unique. We all go through that. That's one of the values of talking about our stories right now, is so people understand that you're not alone.
Yeah.
In your journey.
Yeah. So I'm going to lead the way.
Yep. We're going to
start with my story. You guys.
Don't forget whatever it is that you were supposed to ask me. What was the question?
Oh, yeah. I won't forget. I don't remember. I do want to ask Cortland something.
Yeah, let's start.
This is kind of the end, going a little bit backwards.
This is my real hair. Yes.
Your what?
My real hair.
Oh, your real hair.
And I didn't get plugs. No.
You know what we're gonna do?
Gain.
In the editing room, we're gonna take your hair, put it on my head. Imagine that,
dude. Nightmares.
It'd be great. Be so good. You can have my hair all day long, what's left of it.
Yeah.
So you and I have talked. I know a lot about your story.
Mm-hmm.
The point isn't just for us to learn more about you, but for everybody to learn a little bit. If I could, if you were to compare yourself to Cortland right now at 22, plus 10 or 15, depending on the day.
Depending on, yeah.
Cortland now versus Cortland 15 years ago.
Ooh.
Like, I'd be interested to know how you feel about where you are now compared to where you were. So probably when you were a teenager, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
And then how you came from where you were to where you are.
Yeah.
And along the way, let's, Javon and I are going to ask some questions because we just want to kind of identify your journey.
Yeah. So kind of set the stage a little bit. When I was young, my parents got divorced. Okay, grew up in the church, was baptized, when I was 8.
Mhm.
Parents got divorced when I was 7. Mom remarried, alcoholic, came into the family. And then we were in a new home every year.
Mhm.
So every year I was a new kid. Every year I got picked on. My brothers were going through the same thing. So in order for them to have some connection and kind of brotherhood, they kind of teamed up against me. And me and my brothers were good now, but I just want to illustrate this because this is something that one of them brought up to me once, and we were trying to strengthen our relationship, and he came up to me and we're talking, and he had invited me to go somewhere and we're hanging out, and he's like, my goal in life as a teenager was to make your life hell.
Wow, that's quite an admission.
And I was like,
Wow. You're like, thanks, buddy.
So then I felt his sincerity,
Mhm.
right? And this is along the story. And I was like, look, I really appreciate that you were willing to say that, because like that's big. And then I said, but I need you to understand the depth.
Mhm.
I had nobody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I was so alone. Like just we talked about it a little bit. It was just reinforced almost daily that I was either annoying, I wasn't wanted to be around, or whatever it may be, or that I was less than.
Mhm.
And because of that situation at school, and then also at home with my brother trying to make my life hell,
Mhm.
I told him, I'm like, look, thank you for saying that. I want you to understand that before I was a teenager, I tried taking my life twice because I was so alone.
Mhm.
I didn't want to be alive because it was just like it was all just so much. I was never in a place where I felt loved. So then I move into, I'm currently 32.
Mhm.
I had a nose itch. I'm 32. 15 years ago, I would have been kind of senior in high school, and this was actually a really good time in my life, because at this point, I've been going through life, and there was a lot of like, I never had somebody.
Mhm.
From the time I was 7 on into, I was 25, I was severely attached to pornography, just watching any moment I could.
Mhm.
And with that, it came into like trying to impress girls and girlfriends and all that. What were you gonna say, Alan?
Well, I just was going to, I had a question while you were talking and you kind of answered it. The extreme, of course, is thinking about and even attempting to take your own life. That's a horrible place to be. Outside of that horrible place, you being in this environment and being told and the reinforcement that you're nothing, how did that impact your decisions and what you chose to do? And clearly you just answered that. One of them was you filled that with pornography.
Yes.
But what other actions were as a result of you feeling alone, isolated, and even worthless?
Yeah, so for me, it was a lot of withdrawal. So and withdraw in kind of the sense of like, you have people that like shut the door and lock it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Mine was, I'm never gonna let anybody in to see the real me.
Oh, okay.
So just this face up. So I was always people pleasing. I was you know always in sports. The most what's that high school thing? The most athletic
Oh.
kid in school.
Were you really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun stuff. Anyway, but it was this where I put up this front and I was doing everything to try to get people to like me so that I could get in. And
that, I think, answers the question, right? There's this isolation and then doing things and behaving in ways you may not normally just to be liked.
Yeah. And that's why girls were like, so interesting to me because, with pornography, it was like, oh, this is like an ultimate acceptance.
Yeah.
It becomes more like a masculine macho thing.
Masculine macho.
If I can get into doing that, then I'm gonna be the stuff because I can brag about this female, that female to the guys.
Yeah.
And so the guys will accept you a whole lot more because you got all these females kind of like at you and stuff like that.
Well, and and just being totally honest, it wasn't the macho.
Okay.
It was like, I just want someone to love me. Like, and it's kind of it's funny to say, like, I didn't want to be the macho man. I just wanted somebody to love me.
Yeah.
And
but it's
true.
Yeah,
it's real.
Well, and in either way you look at it, if you're going for the macho man, you're looking for acceptance and love from a different angle.
Different way.
Right? And so either way, you're looking for acceptance, you're looking for love because you didn't have that in any sense.
100%.
Yeah.
So then we're going through this and I'm in high school. And then, so everything was people pleasing. Everything was trying to get people to like me. Everyone, I wanted everyone to have this good, positive perception. And I just never felt confident in how I dressed. I was never confident in the music I listened to and things I was interested in. Like I thought I really liked girls. Like, so I would, I would be in one of the guys. I was friends with everybody. My boy Snoop Dogg said this one time. He said, I got millions of friends, but I only have a handful of good ones.
Yeah. That's right.
Where I was like that, where I was like friends with everybody.
Yeah.
I still am. I love people.
Yeah.
But just a couple, right? And in that process, just always trying to people please, to make people, proud and to like me, to love me. But one thing that's standing out to me as I'm kind of thinking about back and kind of thinking about the story, I just never was confident in who I was. Like, we'd be hanging out and then I'd say a girl was cute, right? Or I'd be texting her and then my friends would be like, you're talking to who? Out. Immediately, gone, number deleted, just any
because your boys didn't accept it.
Yeah, just and it wasn't even like it didn't accept. It was just like this thought of them not accepting, or they had that thing, right, where they kind of like tweaked their head a little bit as they asked that question, and I just was so heavy into like, oh, they don't like her, they don't think she's pretty. I must not think she's pretty. She's not that pretty. I'm deceived. It's not.
And even though they didn't actually say that,
even though they didn't say it,
yeah,
and it was like that with everything.
Yeah,
like I love, and I'm more confident now. I love sad music, like depressing,
like Celine Dion sad music.
Like Celine Dion is good, but just like the sad, death, like all that stuff. And what I'm talking, let me back up.
I'm like, so, where's he going with this? Like, I was like, you trying to tell us something? You okay? Like,
so as I go back and I psychoanalyze myself, I never was allowed to express myself.
Oh, okay.
So music was a way
Of expressing.
Right?
You a trip, because two things you have said tonight that this is how we talk about. I know we sitting here and we're trying to understand how we kind of relate. One thing, the first thing you said that I know that we relate is I wanted someone to love me.
Uh-huh.
That's where we relate growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I wanted someone to love me and accept me. But also, what you just said, there was certain music I listened to. And because I wanted to be loved, when it came to dating females, I knew all the R&B soul songs, to the point that I was serenading them bad boys to the females. They like, if they was like down with Keith Sweat, boom, your boy had the music, boom, singing it to them and stuff, and they would go crazy. That was my way of having the women accept me, but also allow them to feel like, okay, he's a little bit vulnerable. He understands his music,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's the way I was going to try to find someone to love me.
Yeah.
And that's why I got hurt a whole lot. You know, so
And but I never let people know.
yeah.
Right. So it was like,
I didn't either. It was just a way of doing things. Yeah.
So then, I'm sitting there and I'm talking about like, well, growing up, I loved country music because that was like the popular thing to do. And I didn't want people, I never got to explore music.
Yeah.
We didn't have like YouTube Music or Spotify or Apple Music where you can just like pop in anything you wanted. Like you had to
seek it out.
Illegally download, through what's that one that app, that one website?
What was that? Napster?
LimeWire? Lime?
I don't know. I mean, it's different everywhere, so I don't know.
So anyway, we had to like have like an MP3 or a cassette or a CD player.
Yeah. In our day, we would record songs from the radio on cassette tape.
Cassette tape, and then play it back.
You're like listening to the song. You're like, okay, record. Yeah, got
it.
So then, I'm going through and Brad Paisley, Whiskey Lullaby. Right, a man comes home from war and finds his wife sleeping with another man, ends up drinking himself to death. Then she blames herself, drinks herself to death. Right? Beautiful song.
Yeah, but that's dark.
So like I love those texts. So I never.
That's your purpose. So
yeah, whatever. But I just love those like deep, really thoughtful, meaningful, emotional songs. But I never was able to do it because I was never confident in myself.
Right.
And the one of my favorite examples, kind of making fun of myself because of how insecure I was the captain of our basketball team. Okay.
Shouldn't be insecure if you're in
that
position. That's excellent.
And it was my job to make a soundtrack for us to come out to. And we're just coming off of a state championship.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. So then I'm the captain of the team. We're going out and I'm like making the soundtrack. And then I just start telling myself that I'm stupid, that I can't, that it's not good. People ain't going to like it.
Right.
Right. And I end up just showing up with the CD that we used like 3 years ago that my brother had because he was on the team. I'm like, hey, here you go. Right. And it would have been so epic. It was this, it's this song.
Have you made the CD sets? I want to hear these songs.
No, I haven't made it.
I think you should put a playlist together and we should share it.
And, but there's maybe we'll put that in there.
It would be really fun.
But it was, the thing was that it was this, it was like this pop rock song.
Yeah.
And I think it's A Day to Remember. And the beginning of the song is just a crowd. Okay. And they go, da 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 da. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. This drum roll. And I was like, man, that would be so sick to just have the entire stadium going da 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 da. Yeah. And then everyone go, let's go. And then we run out onto the court. I was like, man, that would be so sick. And no. I think it was like, all we do is win, 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 no matter what. So anyway, excuse me. That drum roll really hit my throat there. But to answer that question in short, I never felt confident. Never felt confident in who I was. And that's, in all honesty, that's something that's new to me. Like past 5-10 years. Like where I found comfortable in who I am. Like where I can make a decision and tell people about it and not be worried about what they think.
Right.
Like that's been huge for me. I never would have been able to do that. Never could do it. And now, you know, I'm at a point where I'm able to do that. A lot of that came from the mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else in your story prevented you from getting to that point sooner?
Well, I think that we talked about wounds. When we experience a wound, when I experience a wound in my life, let me take this back. Freshman year, I'm going to go further back. I'm like 10 years old, 11 years old. I'm laying on the couch. I never had a shirt on. I just don't like clothes. If I'm ever home, I never have shoes and socks on. I'll be like walking around outside in the chicken run. I don't like having shoes on. Okay. When I was a kid, basketball shorts were the only thing I'd wear. No shirt.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just laying on the floor and then I see this like red bump on my chest. I'm like, what the heck? Think it's a pimple. So pop it, just bleeding. Like, oh geez.
TMI. But go ahead. TMI.
Well then a couple days later, I go up to my mom. I'm like, I got this bump on my chest, and she's like, oh, it's a pimple. And I'm like, oh. Then we go to the doctor a few days later, and he's like, that's a vein that's growing out of your chest.
Oh, you kept popping it?
And we kept popping it. And he's like, you could have killed yourself.
Wow.
So then I had to have surgery, and they cut it out, and they fixed it, all this stuff, right? And then there have been a bunch of other things that happened. But when I was a freshman in high school, we're playing this team that's way far away. It was like 3-hour bus ride to be able to get there, and then we had to come back. And we're playing, and I took an elbow to the nose. I broke my nose, my cheekbones, my eye sockets, just blasting me. We go to the doctor the next day, and the doctor is looking at everything, and he looks in my ear, and he's like, oh, whoa. I'm like, what do you mean, whoa? You're a doctor, though. You can't say that.
Yeah.
So then he opens the door, and he's like, hey, where's the intern? I need him in here to come see this. I'm like, you have no bedtime, like bedside manners just don't exist with you. What's up?
Okay.
They come in and they find a bunch of tumors in my ear.
Oh man.
So then I have to postpone nose surgery to fix the inner workings of my nose from the elbow I took. And I had to have surgery. And excruciating surgery. They essentially cut my ear off, pull it forward, drill through my skull to get to my middle ear, and then kind of clean everything out and take it out. Can't hear for like 6 months after that. Just terrible.
Wow.
Okay. They had to build me a new eardrum, just like all this crazy stuff. I had to have a surgery for, it was like 5 years in a row after that to try to take care of everything. So the original question was kind of what are some other things that kind of contributed to that? When I was so insecure in who I was. Yet at the same time, I believed deep down that there was something there.
Yeah.
And through all of my surgeries, my mom wasn't, actively engaged in her faith. Lots of drinking and partying and things of that nature. But when I was going through surgery, man, I was so close to God. So I would be going through life feeling like I was nothing, worthless,
Right.
piece of trash, not worth anything, annoying to everybody else. And then these moments of serious pain where I connected with God and was able to have, for the first time, really a connection, communication with him.
You think in that moment of going through all that you were going through that you kind of cut off everybody else because of you having these issues with surgery and stuff? You just didn't, I guess you got to a point where it was like, if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not. But I can have this relationship.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
When I was, I was in first grade, and every year after that, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, I was in a different school. Different friends. We lived in a new city. Right? Everything always changed. So I had gotten to a point where I told myself, I don't care to invest because it always fails. Right? But then I started going on my mission. And I start having this positive experience with God. And I start hearing him. And everyone around me just knows me as Elder Watson. They don't know anything about me.
Right.
So I'm just going to be who I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to be kind and loving, and I'm going to, be patient, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And I started being the person who I always wanted to be.
What's interesting about that is the name you were wearing on your chest.
Yeah.
There's your identity right there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's who I represent.
Yeah.
I'm going to step
All
it
the
up.
time. And
it's great.
Yeah, it was great. And it was great until it ended.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Missions can be hard to end.
Missions can be hard to end. But one of the things was throughout the mission, I started receiving revelation, and I never had that before. I never even knew that was, I guess maybe I believed it, but I didn't really know.
Yeah.
Right. As a boy, attempting suicide, God was there. Right. And, when I was in the act, I was hearing him, say, hey, your father's going to miss you. Right. And that brought me out of it. That, got me out of the tub. It took the, the sheet from around my neck. So then I'm on my mission. I start hearing his voice, and I start getting answers to prayers, and I start, really having positive, powerful experiences that tell me that I'm more capable than I ever thought I was.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I get home.
Well, I'm going to pause
Yeah,
there.
Pause.
It's very akin to what we were talking about in our first episode with Moses. You were having Moses experiences where you felt your identity as a son of God.
Yeah.
And now you get home from your mission, and Satan's like, guess what?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm
Who
bringing
are
back
you
to
now?
reality.
You're a son of man.
Yeah.
You're part of this environment. That's only who you are. All of this was just garbage.
Yeah.
This is your real identity when you got home.
So then, and it's funny too, because I get home and within 48 hours,
Satan's knocking at the door.
no, I mean, he was there like the moment.
Okay.
I mean, he was just there. He was just
waiting
sitting
for
there.
you.
He was on the plane ride home. He's like, "Aren't you so excited to go home?" I'm like, "I know.
No.
Just leave me here for the rest of my life. Like, I'm done."
Yeah.
So then I get home, and within 48 hours, I'm back in pornography. Within the week, I'm at a bar with my friends. We're just hanging out. I have my Sprite, and they're all getting drunk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, a week and a half ago, I was in Mexico teaching people about Jesus, helping people quit drinking alcohol because of their faith and belief in him. And now I'm sitting in a bar. Like, I'm not the wound, right? Jumping over that barrier like a dog.
Right.
I guess I'm not who I thought I was on the mission.
Right. So now you're starting to second guess yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So now it's like, oh, there's Cortland.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Cortland instead of Elder.
Will the real Cortland please stand up? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what I say? I said, yes, I am the real Cortland. Let me cower back away.
Yeah.
Let me hide as I go to church, and I put on a front that everything's fine.
Yeah.
That I'm good. Wow. On the inside, I'm being torn apart because, I'm back in the vice that I left. I'm back in the home, in the room where I left. I'm talking to the people that I talked to before I left. I guess I am the real Cortland.
Right. So now that you're at this point, and let's go ahead and fast forward. At what point where something woke up in you or something happened where you decided, you know what, enough is enough. I need to like evolve and be better.
Well, it's like
see things in a different way, and this could be you met your wife,
Yeah.
it could be before then, but at what point was that defining moment where you like, I can't, I'm determined that whatever happened to me in the past is not going to define who I am now.
Yeah.
And I need to do something about it. Because if not, I'm going to continue going down this path.
Good question, Javon.
Yeah.
That's a good question. All right, let me set the stage. You ready? I almost started singing Lion King there.
If you would have came out, but I'm thinking of Lion King. I'm thinking of when he's throwing.
When he's throwing. No, I was thinking of
what part you think?
When I was a young boy.
Oh, that song.
Oh my goodness.
No, but we. So Simone and I are married,
Right.
and we're about to have Barrett, and I'm still in my vice, right? Still engaging in pornography. There's still a lot of hiding. And I just like, I'm battling with myself on the inside. And I'm like, I can't keep living this lie. Like, I gotta get over this. So then I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to talk to Simone about it. So,
That's heavy.
well, it's heavy. Well, and then also she has some siblings that have been divorced because of infidelity.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I tell her, there's a chance that she leaves.
Yeah, it hits close to home for her then.
Real close. So like, there's a chance that she leaves, but I want to be the father that I never had, and I can't be that father if I am who I am right now.
Mm.
So I decided to just call my bishop so that she could overhear me. And I'm like, hey, Bishop, I need to meet with you to, confess some things and work through some things. And he's like, great, let's meet at this time and day. I'm like, great, thanks. And then she walks in. She's like, what's that about? I'm like, well, here I am.
Right.
And, in that process of us going through recovery and working together through everything, initially she shut down and she got mad, and, there was a lot of crying and bitterness.
Yeah.
And then she decided that she was going to stay. She was going to work through everything. She was going to be together with through the process. We start going to the ARP meetings, which the church holds, the addiction recovery program, to be able to kind of get through everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts going to the sisters,
like the support side of it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't say the sisters, but so the support side. So then we're sitting there and we're going through this and we're talking and through the whole thing. It's like, yeah, getting better. And there was Brotherhood there, which was just beautiful because there was
Talk about vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Like you want to talk about our people, like go to the ARP meetings. Like people who are just willing to tell truth.
Yeah.
To speak truth.
Yeah.
So we're in there and I'm trying to work through everything, and it just still feels very much me.
Right.
Like I'm working through this. And after one of these sessions, we go home, and then Simone, she's like, hey, one of the women in there, she said that every time her husband relapses, that she just hugs him and says, I love you, and holds him. And she said, when you relapse again, I'm going to do that. And I'm like,
right.
Yeah, right. Right. But then you have to remember that the reason why I was kind of in this was because I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be accepted. Yeah. And it all honestly started because of that. When I was hanging out with my brother and some cousins, and they kind of bullied me in. I'm not going to go through the whole story, but they bullied me into viewing pornography with them. So I was like, oh, like to be accepted, I have to do this, but then I also have to keep it a secret. They made me swear to keep it a secret. Yeah. So she says that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then she catches me in a relapse. And I get home from the library and I see my computer up and I'm like, dang it. Mm-hmm. And she just walks up to me. She says, I love you.
Hugs you.
Hugged me.
Yeah.
And she held me. And I was like, what?
Mm. And I'm sure in that moment, something clicked.
Oh, for sure.
It clicked. Something clicked more than it has ever clicked in your life in that moment.
Ever. Because it was the first time when I felt true, unconditional love. Where this thing that I thought was nasty and despicable that was inside of me, like, she was okay with. Like, she loved me even with that.
Because your perception, and it's so crazy because this is why I'm just trying to tell you right now, this is how I know we're it's almost like we brothers from another mother.
Brothers from another mother.
But when your wife accepted you in that moment, that perception went away of how you felt like you had to be, and that she wouldn't, because when you say you were looking for love, and this is how I see this, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, because it was the same way with me with my wife. You finally found that one person that wasn't going to leave you because you did something wrong. They was willing to still love you unconditionally, even with your faults, and still be there with you. Whereas in most people, like I know in my life, they was done with me.
Yeah.
You messed up. Oh, heck, I don't want nothing else to do with you.
Yeah. When are you going to tell me that I'm annoying, that I'm not enough, that
or
I'm not
talk
this
down
or
on
that?
you or something,
Yeah.
right? And she did.
Yeah.
And so that was the moment it was like, wow, what is going on?
Well, and then we're sitting there one day, and this is kind of part 2 to that.
Right.
Simone's like, I got to talk to somebody. Like, I'm doing this on my own. I need to talk to somebody. Who can I talk to? I want to talk to somebody in your family, not in mine, because I don't want them to have a perception of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay.
And that I'm glad she did that. That's
dude,
that says a
big deal.
lot about your relationship. This is something we teach in marriage.
So much about her.
Yeah, and about her.
Yeah.
About her, but the whole y'all relationship. But something we teach in marriage mentoring is that when we're talking and counseling couples, we let them know your relationship is between God and you. Nobody else outside of that. Meaning, because your family members can turn around, or friends, and they can judge the person that you're talking about who did you wrong. And they're going to forever keep that in their mind. And every time they see you, they're going to have this thought, or they're going, why you still with that fool? He did you such and such wrong, you know. But we also teach them that in that moment, that if you have gone out and stepped outside of, you know, your circle of just you two and the bond that you have, then you go to the family members together as a whole, as one, because you are one when you become married. You are one under God's eyes. And you let them know, look, you ain't got to like it, but I need you to respect it. And if you can't respect it, then I will just make sure that I stay over here. Now I'm going to speak to you because I don't have no, you know, there's nothing for me to be mad about.
Yeah.
This is my relationship. But I'm going to love you from a distance, because I don't want the person, you know, my significant other, to feel some type of way every time they come around because you can't let something go.
Yeah.
We're working on this.
Yep.
This is our problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I need you to see. This is, I let you in, but now I'm shutting the door. So just please respect me. But
yeah. And no, and it was exactly that way.
Right.
So then Simone's like, let's talk to somebody on your side of the family, because they're going to love you no matter what.
Right.
Right. They're not going to say nothing bad about you.
Right.
And the fact that we're coming to you together, like things are going to be different. Right. So then we're sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell my dad. So keep in mind that, you know, my dad and his perception of me is what got me out of attempting suicide. Like, my dad has been here my entire life, and like, this is what I'm working up to.
Right.
Right. Like, hey, Dad, you know, are you proud of me yet? So then we're sitting there, and I start talking to my dad, and, you know, I just let it out. Like, I've been struggling with this since I was 7 years old, and, you know, it's still a problem, and I'm trying to work through it. And, and, you know, just hearing him say, like, you know, I specifically remember him saying, hey, like, there's not a man in the world that hasn't dealt with this. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So then the cool part, and this is kind of leading up to kind of where we are right now, is that my kind of the stake president at the time, as someone and I are going through all this, I started going to him and meet with him. He was a counselor. So we started talking to him and meeting with him. And then a few weeks after we start meeting with him, he calls Simone and I into his office, right? And he's like, hey, you know, the Lord's called you to be the new Elders Quorum president. And I'm like, you know where I'm at.
Right.
He's like, proud of you. I'm like, what? So then Simone and I were just like, okay, we're gonna we're going to do this and we're going to be vulnerable. You know, so then first meeting, I get set apart and, you know, we talk in an elder's quorum. And I'm like, hey, we're going to do this and this is how it's going to be. You know, first 10 minutes of quorum, we're just going to, everyone's going to get their home teaching assignment. This is home teaching back in, you know, for all these people, where everyone's going to get their assignment. And then the first 10, 15 minutes of class, go talk to them. We're going to hang out.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll have a lesson for 30 minutes. So then we're talking, we're building relationships. And then it was like really weird for everybody. They're like, okay, like, I guess I'll go talk to them.
Yeah.
And then after that, right, that first kind of breakdown. And then the next 30 minutes was every Sunday, Simone and I go to the addiction recovery program because I'm struggling with pornography. And everyone's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't elders quorum president. Like, this isn't how you're supposed to act.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, 2, 3, 4 couples start going with us to the addiction recovery program. And everyone's starting to get used to being open and talking and connecting and being real and being vulnerable. And, you know, just kind of leads to kind of where we're at now, where it's like Simone has a very unique story as well. Those stories help us to become who we are, right?
Yeah.
Like the bad, the terrible, the trauma, the hurt. I'm where I am because of all of it. And I'm glad for the pain. And if you asked me to go through it all again, I'd say no, I don't want to do that ever again.
Yeah.
Right? But if you asked me to go back and change it, I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, where we are now. But I think that you know, my story is very much one of isolation. Or we talked about that in that first episode, where somebody who was wanting to present themselves as got it all together, yet screaming, "Somebody help me!"
which is more the rule than the exception.
Yeah.
We put on that facade that everything's okay
On the outside.
And that is probably most of the time there's something going on in the inside with people. And you know, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can be affected, you can move forward in life, but still have pain underneath. And that leads to a question I had for you as well. You said that on your mission you were able to connect with God, feel His Spirit, feel revelation, connect with other men, and have kind of a brotherhood. When you got home from your mission, there was that moment with Simone where it really like clicked.
Yeah, it would click.
So in order to understand God's love, we have to have people in our lives that are willing to help us along that journey. And so I think the danger in isolating,
I agree with that.
The danger in isolating is that our Heavenly Father uses people to help us see His love.
Yeah. And to see things that we don't see.
Yeah.
Even when it's right there in front of us, because we're so blinded by the adversary and him trying to keep us down where he wants to keep us at. Because he doesn't, the truth be told, he doesn't want us to be happy. He doesn't want us to have joy. He doesn't want us to have love. He doesn't want us to live Christ-like. If he had it this way, the whole world would be corrupt. I mean, every single individual.
Well, and I think that, and this is just something that I actually wanted to close on. So I'm gonna close up my story in this episode with this. Satan wants us to withdraw.
Yeah.
Wants
to retreat.
us to isolate.
Yeah.
Wants us to retreat.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because when you're going through like real vulnerability, like you're going through something tough, you don't want to talk to people.
No, you don't.
You don't. You usually like to keep it to yourself because, again, you're fearful of judgment and people ridiculing you. So,
and there's a difference, right? Some people, and I see this, I do this myself. Some people need time to regulate.
Yeah.
That's different than withdrawing. That's different than isolating, right? Something happens between Simone and I quiet up, and I'm just kind of, what I do is I start cleaning, right?
Yeah.
Just silently cleaning. I just need time to regulate. I need time to go through my head and, make sure I'm not saying something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to make sure you process everything before you have that conversation.
Process and have that conversation.
How you want to go.
That I take things to prayer, right? Especially if it's something in our marriage.
But that is a smart approach. The isolation approach is holding on to the anger, letting it fester,
festering, or just kind of it could be just coping in terrible ways.
Right. Yeah.
And again, that's me taking, because that's what I used to do. I've learned how to use it in a more effective and appropriate way. But I just, in that kind of closing, remember, all of our listeners, remember that what we're talking about here is we're talking about stories, so that way we can connect, so that you can understand that we may not be in your exact shoes, or we may not be exactly where you are, but we have been in the journey. We have been in that process of going from, pain, heartache, sorrow, bitterness, whatever it may be, to now being where we are. And just to wrap up this episode and wrap up kind of my story, isolation, addiction is healed through proper and appropriate connection. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do, is help men understand that when we can connect in appropriate ways with God, with ourselves, and with other men, and with our beauties as well, right? Yeah. With our wives and our children and everyone, in that role, that there's power in being able to do that. So, heart to heart, this is it. And the next couple episodes, we're gonna open up Alan's heart. We're gonna open up Javon's heart, just so that way we can establish a good foundation, so that way we can take those next steps and be able to start talking about things that matter. But like always, break us down, Javon.
Subscribe, let us know all the questions, pros, cons, or whatever you like, don't like. And hit us up.
Let us know.
Deuces.
We hope that you enjoyed that podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode. As Javon closed us out there, he does it with passion. He does it with excitement. We hope that you will subscribe, comment, engage with us, so that way we can have genuine conversations about the things that matter, what stood out in the podcast and our episodes. These are all unscripted. They're raw. They're genuine. And we hope that as you participate, that you'll be able to have that same approach. We invite you to join us in our free community, where we are connecting LDS men in one space to be able to have these conversations, to be able to talk, to be able to connect. And you can find us on School. So if you go to school.com, SKOOL.com, /the LDS Man's Heart, you'll be able to join, submit your questions, and then come participate with us in that community. Again, we're so thankful that you're here with us, that you participated, that you heard us, that you listened to us. We hope that we can engage in the future. This is The LDS Man's Heart by Forged and Anchored.